And then my degree, even whatever. Okay, so I went from physics. Sorry to bump the table and to shake. So I went from physics to anthropology. We talked about those two already to teaching. So when I decided that I was going to become a teacher and get my master's degree, I go back for my certification. I have like an equivalent master's degree. So I have like two kind of master's degrees. Okay. So when when I decided that I was going to become a teacher, even that, right? Like here I am an adult now. I was 29, I think, when I decided to go to graduate school, or what I wanted to be whenever I grew up. That's what I like to call it. And so what I ended up doing was, announcing to everyone, okay, I'm going to be a teacher now. And do you know, again, people were like, you're not going to make any money with that. Why is it that the teaching and profession, the profession that creates all other professions, inspires all other professions, you can't go to school and learn from a teacher for any other professional job, vocational, technical, whatever, without being taught, right? Like teaching is one of the most devalued professions. I have the same education level as a doctor, and in one day I would work as much as a doctor, but yet my pay would be 1/3 the amount of a doctor. So, even whenever I went and like I was like, this is it, this is what I want to do. I want to educate people, all the knowledge that I've gained in my life, I want to then come back and I want to share that with other people. Even that was not valued. It was, you had to be a doctor, you had to be an engineer, you had to, be a, what was the other one? I can't even remember right now. There were three, like in my peer group. Oh, like doing accounting or business or something like business related, right? So if you were not doing one of those things, because now it kind of shifted from as a woman, you couldn't do those things, but now women can do those things. And if you don't do those things, we don't value you for not doing those things. Like we don't value the path that you have chosen in your life, or we don't value where you're deciding to take your life, right? Like it's really so frustrating to have those experiences of being devalued. But the way that I was able to overcome that is essentially I just had to keep marching forward, right? I did a video about overcoming fears. And, what are people going to think, or what are people going to say about the choices that I make in my life? I got to a certain point where I was like, I don't even care. I do me. That whole saying, you do you, boo. That's exactly the way that I overcame. I was like, I know that this is what I'm meant to do, because again, I'm in touch with my intuition. I'm in touch with my inner being. I'm in touch with my higher self. I have a connection to God. I know this is what the path is, and I know that this is what I need to take. The same thing with my choice of religion and spirituality and the things that I do in my life. You know, um, because I was predominantly a Muslim living in a Christian dominant area, I was devalued all the time, especially after September 11th. Whenever I started to become much more orthodox than I was previously, kind of the more that I researched religion and the more that I kind of investigated religion and what did that mean for my own life, really trying to find my way and the way that I wanted to live. My family didn't agree with it at all because I wasn't Christian. My Even within the religion, my peers were like, are you Sunni or are you Shia? Like, why does that matter? It doesn't. Even within being Sunni, there are different schools of thought. And it's like, which one are you? Are you Hanafi? Are you Shafi'i? You know, are you Hanbali? Like, does none of that matters? None of that matters. That is not something to value. You don't value people based on what their religion is. And I'm going to do, again, here I am with, I'm going to do these videos. Um, I live in a really culturally diverse and culturally and religiously diverse community. And what I've learned from living in this community is just phenomenal. And the way that I've been treated living in this community has just been phenomenal. And so, you know, I really encourage you that if you're feeling devalued because of your own spiritual and religious beliefs, that you that you really kind of investigate in your own life how you can work to overcome. Because even before that, whenever I was a kid and I was into physics, but then I was also into astrology and I was also into natural things, that also was devalued, right? Like you see me, I have crystals on. I've always really been big into crystals. I've always been big into how does our physical world work, especially in conjunction with our spiritual world. How does spiritual, I don't want to say spirituality, but how does the metaphysical function in our physical existence? So that's always been something that I've always been curious about, that I've been researching. And we'll get nerdy together in a physics video where I talk about some of those things. Like I'll teach you guys particle physics and things like that, um, on a basic level. And so even spirituality, whenever I was a kid, like if you told people that you did astrology, it was like witchcraft. If you told people, you know, that you had knowledge of herbs and how they work, witchcraft, right? Like all of it was just labeled witchcraft. Oh, you're a witch, you know? It's like, no, no, this is me understanding how my body and my physical world works. So I'm going to pause the video here and take another break. So I hope that you join me again. We're almost done. I have maybe 1 to 2 more videos left to make. So I will hopefully see you soon.